it's always true that we are trying to help you with your college application, with your academic journey, no matter where you are and what you do. And this is part of our training sessions, our workshops, and we felt the need to prepare such a program and try to help people understand what is the purpose of interviews, different kinds of interviews, and we have had cases. People had issues with answering questions, especially with the visa interview, uh, and and yeah. So that's the whole purpose. And please stay till the end. And if you have any questions that may not be answered during this session, during we talk, please make sure that you note down your answer, your question, and then we will get you answered in the end. Um, and the number of participants are just moving up, and I hope this session will be helpful. And I see a lot of questions are coming about recording this session. Yes, this session will be recorded, and will be posted on our YouTube channel and other social media pages. Yeah. So now I may share my screen for the presentation, uh, and we will get started from there. So yeah. So can you all see my screen? You do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have your screen.
Sorry. Do you guys mind muting yourself? Yeah. So please move to the agenda slide.
Yeah. So this is part of our community agreement, as Mehdi mentioned, that you may stay for till the end, and if you have any questions, you may keep for the end of the session. And the workshop will be recorded, and the slides will be shared upon request. If you need the slides, if you really think that you need the content, you may email us at contact@afghanscholaracademy.org. So, and please, when you email to request for the slides, make sure that you put the right subject for your email. If I was emailing, for example, I would say request the workshop slides. So that would be my subject for the email. So that will be easier for us to find you and send the slides as quickly as possible. And yeah, maybe you want to go ahead and talk about us a little bit.
Yeah, so we are our ASS, so Afghan Scholars Academy, and then your organization, nonprofit organization, and which is actually based in New York, but we help students from Afghanistan to basically in terms of their college application, like personal statements, and also we do offer English courses, free. And then yeah, so if you guys have any help, if you guys need any help in terms of your college application, not only in the US but also to other countries, like we do offer this support that you might need.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so again, Afghan Scholars Academy is offering a lot of free programs for Afghan girls and Afghan students, and we focus more on the college application and help those who are preparing for international scholarship programs, and also we are offering English courses, short-term courses, in TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, preparation courses, and we have some other leadership programs too. And we have a mentorship program that is an extended program for 6 months, and it will start from zero to submitting your application for college. And that's called mentorship program. You can find that on our website if you haven't seen already. And you can also follow us on social media to learn more about us and get updates about what we do, about our next programs, and everything else. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's just a snapshot of what we will cover today. What do interviews look for? Admission interviews, scholarship interviews, visa interviews, prep tips and mock practice, common questions, final advice, and then we'll have a bit of time for Q&A. Next slide, please. So as you can see, there are three types of the interviews overall. So there is like admission interviews, scholarship interviews, visa interviews. Admission interviews are usually, they are usually held like if you want to apply for like undergraduate programs or like postgraduate programs, including master's degree or even PhD degree. So you have to go through this interview. So it's just about the academic curiosity and love of learning. The academic faculty want to know you as a person beyond your degrees or beyond your high school transcript or diploma. It's just initiative and leadership, and then and they might talk about community involvement and personal stories, how you would contribute to college campus, what kind of roommate, classmate, friend you are. As I mentioned before, they want to know you as a person. Maturity, reflection, and the ability to hold a conversation. So in terms of the admission interviews, make sure to talk about your past experiences if you have involved in any extracurricular activities or any internship. You might talk about those. And then in terms of the scholarship interviews, it's quite similar to admission interviews, but it's just they want to know why you deserve this opportunity, what makes you special, what stands you out in the crowd, so that they could offer you this scholarship. Your financial need, academic performance, and motivation. So those three criteria are important when they decide about whether they give you basically the position. And then your impact goals, how will you use this opportunity to benefit others, long-term vision, and how this program align with your dreams and with your goals. Visa interviews are usually like you have to go through this interview if you're applying for a student visa, which is F1 visa, or if you're applying to immigrate. They just want to make sure that you are a genuine student and not intending to immigrate. And for these visa entries, you need proof of financial support, either scholarship or sponsorship, a clear understanding of your educational goals and aim, and reason why you will return to your home country. Yeah. Next slides, please. Yeah, so for pre-application and pre-interview consideration, usually, yeah, the cutoff is usually like the moment you receive the offer, and then to the interview, the cutoff is usually like 2 weeks or 1 week, and that I personally don't think that won't be enough to prepare for the interview. So make sure you start early in terms of your preparation. Don't wait until you get the invite. The moment you submit your application, make sure you prepare. Just look at the website, look at the university's website, or like the industry if you're applying. Make sure to really know them. So be able to explain to your story, what motivates you, what have you overcome, what was your struggle, what made you like the person you are today. And then be ready to discuss your application, but don't repeat it. And then review your personal statements, essays, and resumes. They're more likely to ask questions from your personal statements. And then they just want to know like how you're in a person, like what you have written, is that really you? And then show your passion and leadership. Next slide, please.
Yep. So about this school-specific research, I think this is more about the admission interviews. Most of the colleges, if you apply for undergraduate, they may not ask you for an admission, but some colleges do. For example, when I applied for pre-college, they did ask me for an interview after I got a notification from them. And this is more about admission. So look into the courses and professors or research centers that you're interested in. I think it's very important before you are asked for an interview by the admission committee. You should have a well-rounded information about the school, about the research centers, and what they do overall, and what student clubs and organizations. So when you go to college, trust me, there are a lot of clubs and organizations that you will be part of if you are interested in, and 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 there are a lot of student organizations that you will just be part of, even by sometimes by default, and you have to. Uh, and you should know those organizations and that how they can help you achieve your goals while in college. And of course, know where the college is, in what kind of life you would have there, because they do not want to know everything, everything like personal, but also they want to know how much interested you are in their program, in their school, and how much do you know about their school. Um, and, and when they are asking you the questions, they're not always, like I said before, interested about what you do, because they already know from your application, and they want to know that how much you see yourself there on their campus, and that's really important. And understand their values. Do they care about diversity, service, innovation? The importance of knowing more about the college when you are interviewed by the admissions committee, because they're not always interested about knowing you as a person, but they want to know how you will fit in their campus, in their community. So you may focus on learning about their values, who they are, do they care about diversity, service, and innovation or not, and how you can best fit yourself in their community while while you are answering the questions, while you're answering the questions. But you should understand that there's no single right or wrong answer. There's always, it depends on you how you answer it, how you frame the question, how you really lay it out properly. So you should understand that. I think we previously talked about, we had another session previously on communication a few days ago, and I talked about the importance of presence in a communication, in a conversation. So you should have that presence. You should feel, and the other person should feel that you belong in that conversation. So you should keep that in mind. And you should be able to to answer the question of why this school. I think this is really important, because this is the core of that conversation, and you are asked the question of why you belong to that community. Why do you think that this school might be the school that you want to go to? And in that question of why is really important. That's crucial part of that conversation, and focus on how they will help you achieve your goals. I think I think when you apply to school, let's say, you should already have an idea of why you want to go there, because maybe that's because of the program they offer, because of their research centers, because of the professors or the faculty advisors, for example. I mean, you should have a solid reason in how they can help you get what you want. Uh, and that's really important for them too, because they want to make sure that the students who are coming to their schools, they are successful, they will be successful, and they will achieve or get the help they need. So that's one thing you want to make clear for them. Yeah. And so how to prepare for the interview? So I want to make sure that I'm still on the meeting, because I don't really see my screen when I am here. But I
Yeah, I
have
can see
to,
your screen. I can see your screen.
yeah, I have to switch my screen to the presentation, then I come back to see and then admit people. So yeah. So how to best prepare for your interview? I think And I've been talking to a lot of people how to prepare for an interview. I've experienced being interviewed and interview people for a long time now. In the it's I know it's very stressful. It takes time and it takes energy, effort to really prepare for the questions that you may not know in some cases what those questions would be. Um, First thing first is that you should not and must not memorize a script because it will make you sound robotic. Uh, and I think it's not a good idea to memorize a script. And there are so many reasons to that. And one of those is that you may not sound very natural in an interview. You have to sound very natural. You have to sound yourself, your genuine self, and that's important to you and the person who is listening to you. And use past, present, future to tell your story. I think this is important in written language too. When you write something, you have to, especially when you write for college. Let's say you're writing your personal statement, you have to you have to focus on something and focus on the results too. For example, if something happened to you, you have a story, and then see what has been the results for that action that happened to you. For example, if I was telling my story, this is I was, and this is my experience, and this is who I am right now as a result of those experiences, and and that is the person I envision to be in the future as a result of my present and past experiences, and that's how I would frame my story. So should frame your story in a way that really makes sense and stick with the reader, with the person who is listening to you. Yeah, and also the STAR format is situation, task, action, results. Like I said before, for the challenges or achievements, I've done something in the past, and this is who I am as a result in the future, in the present, and this is I will be in the future as a consequences of my experiences or my life story. So that's really powerful. Like if you can frame your story that way, that can work for you a lot. Um, and and practice out loud. Get used to speaking clearly. Of course, try to speak as clearly as coherently as possible. Try not to move on to different topics at the same time, and and try to stick with the question. Sometimes I know when you are asked a different question and you are really tempted to talk about something else that may not be very closely relevant, that always works against you. So try not to do that. And mock interviews with friends, mentors are very helpful. If you are preparing for an interview and you're not sure, you can always reach to us, reach out to Afghan Scholars Academy. They can always help you. We always give mock test training sessions for students who are especially preparing for the visa interviews. And ASA mentors can also provide with interview, of course, and you can do that by reaching out to our email. And yeah, so the technical aspect of the interviews, especially online. So these days, most of the sessions, most of the workshops are online, and almost everything is online. So on the online interviews, I think it's very taken not seriously by people, but it's serious. So an online interview is exactly like an in-person interview. So make sure that you treat it equally, and to dress it nicely, smile and look into the camera, and keep an eye contact with the person, and use a natural background and avoid noise, of course, when you're sitting in the room. So make sure that your background is blurred or natural, or and good lighting also makes difference. Yeah, if you have good lighting, especially those who are content creators, they know how this stuff. And test your internet connection ahead of time. Test if everything works the way you want them to work, and make sure nothing is broken. And be on time, ideally 5 minutes early. Yeah, I mean, that's really cool, especially when you have interviews or meetings with professionals, with professors. 100%, like, be on time, value their time, respect your time in their time. And that shows that tells a lot about your personality. And just show your genuine self, and do not fake, do not pretend to be someone you are not. Just be the person you are. And yeah, I mean, that's the way you should handle the interviews. Yeah, so common questions for the interviews. So different types of interviews ask different questions. For example, for the admission or scholarship interviews, they don't really care about your let's say immigration purposes, or your funding made sometimes. Uh, for the admissions or scholarship interviews, they mostly ask about I mean, this is almost the first question: tell me about yourself. So it may sound very trivial, it may sound not really important, but trust me, this is the most important question. This is the most important question that they can ask you in an interview. And that is, when they ask tell me about yourself, they are not really interested in your name, in your father's name, in your location, where did you live, where did you grow up. That's not the point. Tell me about I mean, telling about yourself is who you are as a person, as an individual, who exists and who brings value to their community, and who have experience in the relevant field, or in the things they do. And that's really more about your personality, your inner self, rather than your rather than um, an information that they already have. Um, so yeah, and why this major also plays an important role in admission or scholarship interviews, because they want to know why you want to study something. This is especially right for the graduate school applications. If you apply for master's or PhD, they will ask you this question, and you should be prepared to not answer this in a very superficial level. Um, so you have to pay attention to that. So in a superficial level, when you answer a question, you may not give as much detail as possible. Uh, in You may not convince them that you are the right person for that major or for that field. But you have to go deeper. You have to connect it with who you are as a person. You have to connect it with yourself, with your life, in your future goals. And that's something to really care about. And what makes you a good fit for our college. So that is the question I've been asked multiple times during the college application, either written or in interviews. I think it goes back to our previous discussion of how you frame your answers, and you want to frame the answer to this question in a way that you are as a person, your qualities and your values align perfectly with that college, and what they value and how they can help you achieve your goals. I think these are important aspects of this question. And describe a leadership experience. You don't have to list your leadership experiences. You don't have to list your extracurricular activities, because they already know that from your application. So keep in mind that this is not a resume interview. They don't ask for your resume. They just ask that you describe yourself from your own perspective, I guess. And also, how those leadership experiences help to become the person you are today. And like I said before, like, you are when you are describing your experience, try to try to look at it, from a perspective that they happened in your life and they did something to you, and you are a different person right now, and you see a clear result and outcome from those experiences. Uh, and on the visa interviews, so the questions are different. I mean, they are not interested about your life story. They're not interested in why you want to go to that college. I mean, in some cases are, but not like in a deeper level. Uh, so, and on these interviews, they will ask you about why this university. Here, you may not talk about your values. You're not talking about really. Yeah, I mean, deeper level discussions. You're talking about why you are interested in the research centers. There, you are interested, for example, what do you study and how, what kind of help they are providing you, and who's funding your education. This is really important. If you don't have a scholarship, if you have scholarship that does not cover everything on that in that college, make sure that you provide enough funding resources for them and documentations that you will not have any problem uh, with funding. And what do your parents do? Of course, they will ask you this question. Make sure that you're convincing. You have a convincing answer for that. Um, and what will you do after graduation? This will be the most important question because they want to know your purpose, your goal after graduation, and you don't want to mention that you want to stay in that country. So one thing you have to keep in mind in these interviews is that they are interested in knowing that if you are a genuine student or not, because a lot of students are using that visa to get into that country and stay there and make a living. So after your graduation, you want to go back to your country and then work there, or you have to have a clear image of your goals after graduation in a code. So it should always be going back to your country. There's no other option. Even if you say, oh, once, let's say you come to AS, hey, I want to study in the US. I want to finish my degree and then go to Canada or go to some other countries. And that may not work. I mean, you should not do that. That's absolutely not acceptable for them. And you have to mention that you're coming back to your country and you'll work there or study there, whatever. And why did you choose to study in the US and not other countries? They asked me this question, and you have try not to focus more on the country itself. For example, I am really interested in the US. The US is beautiful. It has a lot of states. So those answers do not make sense to them. So make sure that you are showing more interest in the college itself rather than the country. The country does not should not tie you up for your education. Uh, yeah, I mean, try to make sure that I'm not really interested in the country itself, but I'm interested in the college. Yeah, because this college, I mean, that's at least that's how I answered this question. I said I am really interested in the college I'm going to because they offer me scholarship, and this is a really great opportunity. And the people there are amazing in the campus community and the professors and everything. And I did not really say, "Oh, US is a great country. It's a very powerful country, and I want to stay there." Yeah, so that's not how you answer the question. And yeah, so some tips for each of the interview. Um, so for the admission and scholarship interviews, so show that you are ready to grow and explore. So college will be tough. It's a tremendous experience. It'll help you grow, and you'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot of things. So you should show that you are intellectually and mentally in yeah with from all aspects. You're ready. You're ready for that experience. You're ready to take the challenge and grow. And also, you have to show some curiosity and intuitive. Show that you're a person who is willing to grow and who is willing to ask the right question and learn the right things. And also share some. good stories, some personal story, how you can share the values you learn from your life story with the campus community and how they can learn from you. So that's a big part for them. That's something that, especially when you're applying to colleges, they are trying to, especially those colleges who are focusing on diversity and bringing people from all different backgrounds in different countries. They want to make sure that people are different and they want to, they bring a value to their campus community. So share a good person story and show how the scholarship will help you, or you create a change. If you are part of an organization, if you have a really strong and big goal, see that program, see how that scholarship or program or 4 year of college, see how that can help you create that change and make that happen. So not just say, hey, I have this goal and after college I will do that. So try to focus on how you do it and why you do it, and why that program helps you do that. So yeah, so and then talk about how it will change you as a person, as an individual in the future. And in some cases, why students fail to to pass or to have a good interviews with admissions is that they really, they don't really show growth after their graduation. They do not have a good vision of themselves, or a clear image of who they will become after that program. And you should show a real uh, a perspective of growth on yourself. So that's really important. On the other hand, for the visa interviews, be clear, honest, and confident. So honesty is really important for the visa interviews. They want to see the real you, a person who is genuine student and who has no other intentions. And also confidence. Confidence is really, really important. I got rejected from my visa interview for the first time. Though I had a very strong application, I had very good scholarship, and but I think I was not really confident in my answers, because when they were when they were asking me question, I was not really sure about my answers. I was switching between answers. So that really shows that you lack confidence. You are not I mean, when you lack confidence, they suspect that you are lying. You're not really true in what you're saying. So stay confident and stay on confident on what you're saying. And confidence comes from preparation. So prepare well for the interview, and never say you plan to stay after graduation. Of course, say you plan to return to and contribute to your country. So that should be the exact same thing. You are going there to study and then come back, and there's no alternative to that, because
Can I
visa,
also,
uh, student visa is for students, and that is not an immigrant visa, and you do not have to mention that you will stay. I mean, you should not, you must not mention that. And always verify your documents before the appointments. Make sure you have all the documents and everything, and make sure you have your I-20, you have your DS-160, you have appointment confirmation, your passport, and your other documents. If you have any testing reports, if you have any, yeah, and banking statements and other documents. And show more interest in your school rather than country. Like I said before, show more interest in your school. Do not show a lot of interest in that country. Do not say a lot of job opportunities, a lot of internship opportunities, a lot of people, a lot of good companies. So you should not focus on those things. Show more interest on the school you're going, on the program you'll be part of. Show some excitement for that program. What kind of courses you will be taking, and what will you do with those classes? I mean, focus on those things more. Um, yes. So some final thoughts. First and foremost, be yourself. Show your true passion and personality. Um, like I said before, you don't have to. You don't have to be, you don't have to be someone you are not. just to convince them that you're trying to get that opportunity. But yeah, just show that you are the person who you are, and be yourself and say what is right, and stay true to themselves, to them and to yourself. And yeah, and bring up a few interesting things about yourself outside of academics, some hobbies and community services. Yeah, I mean, do not always like focus on academics and strictly like technical part of the interview, but try to make it fun and bring some interesting things that you are passionate about, and always have two, three questions to ask them in the end. Yeah, so if sometimes, especially in the job interviews um, or the admissions or scholarship interviews, they will give you time to ask questions. For example, do you have any questions for us? Do you want to know anything more about us? Yes, I mean, always ask questions. Say, hey, I do have questions. Do not ask a lot of questions. Say if you ask two questions, that will be perfect. And say thank you. Follow up with the email. Even yeah, I mean, even if the interview does not go well, does not go as you predict, always say thank you. Follow up with an email. Say it was great talking to you. This may not be applied in visa interviews, of course, but it does apply in other kind of interviews. Um, and even if you reject it, please do not panic. It's not the end of the world. And I have been there. I got rejected for my AAT's interview. I worked so hard for years to get in that state and then get rejected for your visa. And I know how it feels. I'm perfectly well. Uh, but do not panic. It's not the end, and I'm sure and everything will be the way they're supposed to be, and learn from your failures as much as possible. Just learn from them. Do not panic, and learn what went wrong and how you can improve those, and how you can get control of your case. And yes, I think that was it. In if in case of any questions, and also like we said before, if you need slides, if you having questions that you want us to answer, reach out to us through email at contact@afghanscholaracademy.org. Don't forget, yeah, we have a form, feedback form that I will share in the chat. Please I mean, fill out that form, because that helps us a lot in improving these kind of workshops, and that will help us focus more on what we can do better for you in the future. And also, what else? So don't, if you have not yet joined our Discord, you can join our Discord. If Mehri can share the link in the chat, please make sure that you join our Discord and to ask questions, share your experiences, and also stay updated with our programs. We have a lot of exciting things going on our Discord. So yeah. And also, if you are preparing for any kind of interview and you're not sure if you're really ready, if you want us to help you, if you want someone to train you or have a training sessions and appointments, you can reach out to our email asking for those too. And I think that brings us to the end of this slide, this presentation. Again, I want to thank each one of you for joining our session today. And now you may ask your questions. Uh, yeah. So yeah, I hope this was very helpful, uh, especially for those who are preparing for their interviews, and interviews are coming. So now we may go uh, for the questions, and Mehri will choose, and Mehri will answer.
I have already answered the questions in the chat, so we will just go
Okay.
with the raising hands. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The first question. Let's go from the top. Arzu. Yeah. I don't know your last name. Arzu.
It's Arzu Dehkanyar. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
I am good, thank you for asking. So I have a question regarding my interview. I have a full scholarship from my school, and my interview is on Tuesday this week. And they say that the embassy reject Afghan visa students right now because of the travel ban. Is that true or not?
Oh, so as far as I am concerned, the embassy restarted student visa appointments, and I am not 100% sure if they are rejecting student visas. And that's really something difficult to answer because the situation is not the same. It changes all the time, and that is something that I cannot answer right now as of this moment. But yes, I mean, I've heard that they did cancel a lot of appointments previously, but right now they do not. They restarted the um, resumed the process for the students. Um, but I'm not sure if they're rejecting, and I am not really aware of that.
Okay, and would you please help me with interview questions as well? Because you mentioned you are offering support your organization.
Yeah. Oh, you may reach out to Afghan Scholars Academy's email, and they will respond to you if we have empty slots because this week and the next week we have a lot of appointments in training. So you may reach out to us to the email, and then they will reach back to you and see what we can do. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. And so next question from Muhaddisa Musavi.
Okay. I have a question from you. Do you have my voice?
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah. Do you refer us to any organization for the visa interview or not?
Excuse me, like, can you repeat your question?
Yeah. Uh, do you refer us to any organization for the visa interview or not?
What do you mean by refer?
It means that you can introduce us to any organization.
Mhm. For them to help you with your visa?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of help? Like, if you want to prepare for visa interviews, we can help you prepare for interviews. And I mean, organizations to help you with your visa. I don't know, what do you mean by help? Like give your visa or prepare you for visa interviews? I mean, we can do that.
I said that if we don't get any requests for the college and